Hi everybody, it's me, Jessica lwhor, and we are back with another Rate the Runway, where I go through RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 6, and I talk about the looks that come down the main stage. Now, before we get into this episode of Rate the Runway, make sure you have subscribed to my channel and you've hit the bell for notifications, okay? If you have been watching these videos and you haven't done it already, what are you waiting for? Okay, let's get into it.
Attention the whore, attention the whore, attention the whore, attention. Here I am walking down the street, seeing all the boys trying to take a peek. Shorts pulled up, a chest out right. Come on boys, just take a bite. Look but don't touch, spin it round and round.
Alright, so for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 6, the queens are tasked with coming down the runway in puffer fantasy. And I really like this theme. I want to tell you straight up, gaily forward up, straight up. I want to just say that when I think about this theme, what I want is head to toe puffer. I don't want an accessory of puffer. I really wanted everyone to get creative and use every piece of the outfit to be puffer fantasy. So, per usual, because we have so many goddamn bitches still in the competition, we're going to break them up into 4 categories, alright? And I think I'm gonna start from good, my favorites, to least favorites. So, best ones down the runway. For me, they did exactly what I wanted. Everything was puffer fantasy in some capacity, and it was creative, and it was unique, and they had the ability to sell the garment on the stage, okay? So first up, Sasha Colby. She's been her and MIB have been pretty neck and neck every single runway for me. I think that they get the assignment. It's unique, it's fashion, it's all puffer, and I think that her presentation of it made me think of what Selena's wanted to do with her presentation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, one was a designer and the other one she made from scratch, but yes, Sasha Colby gave me fantasy in that black and yellow fantasy. Okay, I keep saying fantasy because it was fantastic. Next one I have is MIB. Like I said, they're neck and neck. I really like that MIB plays with different hairstyles, different body shapes. I like that she's a big girl that knows her body and she knows how to dress her body, but she wears the most unique pieces. Like, we don't see her in a gown every single time. We don't see her in a bodysuit. We've seen her in so many different silhouettes, so many different aesthetics, different hairstyles, different makeup styles, and I really like that about her. She sold it for me. I mean, I think that this is hard with puffer to be like maybe a little baggy, but I didn't discredit any of the entertainers for having baggier clothing because I think it's a harder material to be fitted. But I really liked it. MIB, you are in the top. The mug, always perfect, unlike mine right now. Anyway, Selena's S titties, I put you in the top as well. You're growing on me, and that's not just because of this last weekend. I'm happy that you kept the coat on. You wore this on Saturday when I got to see you, and there was the garment underneath. And I think that having the little pussy reveal and just the coat stay on was perfect. Your hair was snatched, laid. I think that you completed the challenge, and I like that the hot Cheeto thing was kind of a unique little twist on that too. So, you are here. Lux Noir London is also in the top for the same reasons. Not only is Lux beat, snatched, beautiful, but I really like the creativity in this outfit. I think it's probably my favorite that came down the runway, to be honest. The pink and black, the way it was sculpted, the way it fit her body, the way she sold it, I think that this was probably the most to the theme and fashiony down the runway. You could tell it was puffer, everything was puffer, but I just like how it fit her body. It was great. So this next category are people that I think that had a really great idea, but they just kind of missed the mark a little bit. So maybe just one element of their costume was puffery, or it just didn't give the extraness that I needed. So first off, I'm gonna put Lucy LaDuca. That's right, bitch, what? I actually got that one right this time because I read it first. I like the Ghostbusters theme, the inflatable marshmallow man. I really liked that reference, but the coat was not enough puffer to the leotard, the little bodysuit leotard that you had on. I think that once you took the coat off, I was like, oh, I would never have known that this was a puffer challenge unless it was all more. It was just the coat, just a white puffer coat. And it was beautiful, it was really cute and cool, but anyway. I missed it just by the hair of my ass. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox is in the same category. I couldn't tell if her dress in itself was puffery, but I did like that her makeup was beat. I love that her hair was all high and puffer-like, and the coat complemented the outfit perfectly. It was lined with those lemons, and I think that that is why I wish that there was more puffer on the dress itself, but she looked stunning. There's nothing wrong with this look. Do I think that it completed the challenge? Yeah, but for me, I wanted more puffer. Overall, puffer fantasy. I think that it was very themed creatively, and super clean, head to toe clean. Next one I put is Anitra. Anitra looked beautiful. I think this is one of the most beautiful she's looked on the runway. You could tell the whole garment was puffer. Well, where I think that it fell is that it was more of like a simplistic, it was just a dress. It was just a puffer dress. There was nothing fashiony or creative about it to me. It was a great look. She looked stunning, and I like this. It's something that I would wear. But when you're in comparison and you come down later, if she would have started earlier, maybe I would have enjoyed it different. But when you have these other bitches to follow you in your lineup, because she was near the end, it's a little lackluster in that way. Exactly. It was still very good though. Completed the challenge. So all of these people, I think, completed the challenge appropriately. The next one category that I have is they had an element of puffer, but it was kind of like the off-brand of puffer, in my opinion. And that might get me into trouble as well. But when I'm looking at in comparison to these other contestants, this is where we're getting a little bit more nitpicky. Enough fluff in the puff. Dreamer. Jax is first there. I give you the credit of completing the assignment, so I was mixed between going back and forth at these categories, simply because you did wear all puffer. I thought that you had a constructed garment that was all puffer, but you really like this aesthetic of putting a bodysuit on and then throwing some crap on it. We saw that with the slime look. It's just like there's some comparisons in that way, and I don't think that this sold to the same level or standard as these other people in terms of my taste and my fashion sense, which is obviously top tier. In my opinion, I really thought that this was super safe, is what I'm saying. Like, there wasn't anything that excited me about it. So that's where you are. And the same reasons, and a little bit different, Aura Mayari. Did she have a complete puffer look? And I just want to say her makeup and her hair and the concept itself was really cool. Where I think it fell flat is that I feel like the garment, because it might have been too heavy, wore her. I don't feel like she was able to sell the garment, and therefore she was being like swallowed. You just saw a little bit of her face. And I think that it was ill-fitting in some aspects. With the belt being there, it didn't give any cinch. It looked like it just went straight down. And there's something off to me about just having the legs by themselves as the bottom, to where I felt like there was so much weird space that the garment itself was beautiful. I just don't think that it all connected, unfortunately. So, or am I alright? And then finally in the bottom, and I'm probably gonna get shit for this one too, these are the people that I actually, if it was just down to the fashion sense for the runway, they should have been in the bottom. So first is Spice. Spice, I'm over this. I think it was more quilted, actually, the material that she used, more quilted. She looks beautiful. There's nothing wrong with her looks. There's nothing wrong with her makeup. There's nothing wrong with her completing the challenge, but I'm bored. I'm seeing the same thing, the same aesthetic, and I think that was brought up this episode, actually,
Michelle
with the way she's presenting it. And that's cute, that's your brand, but I'm over this. I want to be, I can predict what you're going to look like when you turn the corner. And at this point in episode 6, I don't want to predict it. I want it to be up here. I would never have seen you, I would never have predicted that you would have walked out looking like that. And I'm just over that in that sense.
It's the last time, I promise. Cue the sniper.
And then I also put Marsha, and I think it's for the exact same reasons. We have seen this type of Marsha, cold nose. It's super simplistic. She does, I'm not worried about her makeup. I've always thought her makeup was great. People give her shit for not putting on too much. I don't care about that. But I just am over this aesthetic, and I want to be surprised. This was predictable. I could have thought Marsha would have come out in something like this. And at this point, I don't want to predict it anymore. I want to be gobsmacked. So, you both are in the bottom. Sorry about it, bitches. Tell me what you think for this puffer fantasy runway. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Type it in the comments, and we'll be back next week with another Rate the Runway. Bye, everyone.
Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention.